Far away and long ago, a princess was born. The king and queen were overjoyed. Let's call her Aurora. Bells rang out across their kingdom. The king and queen are delighted to announce the birth of a baby girl. Guests from across the land arrived for the christening. 6 fairy godmothers fluttered in and showered Aurora with magical wishes. But one fairy had been left off the guest list. Her name was Carabosse, and she was furious. She stormed into the hall and glared at the queen. "How dare you not invite me?" "We're so sorry," the queen began. "Too late," spat the fairy. "Now for my wish. On her 16th birthday, Aurora will prick her finger on a needle and die." Ha 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 ha. Gasps of horrors echoed throughout the hall. With a triumphant cackle, Carabosse disappeared. The queen hugged her baby tight. "Don't despair," hushed a fairy dressed in lilac. "I still have my wish to give. I cannot break Carabosse's spell, but I can weaken it. When Aurora pricks her finger, she will not die," the fairy promised. "Instead, you shall sleep for 100 years until a prince awakens the princess with a kiss." "Thank you," cried the king, immediately banning all sharp objects from the castle. Time went by and the princess grew lovelier each day. On her 16th birthday, the royal gardens were hung with garland, ready for a magnificent party. The king looked on, delighted, until he spotted an old woman with knitting needles. "It's forbidden to," he began. "Shh," urged the queen. "Don't spoil Aurora's day." Reluctantly, the king let the woman stay, and the click-clack of her knitting kept time with the court musicians. "Happy birthday," everyone chimed as the princess skipped into view. 4 finely dressed princes lined up, each holding a rose. Aurora greeted them gracefully and danced with each one, spinning and twirling, dizzy with happiness. She saw her friends smiling, her parents glowing with pride, and an old woman spinning some thread. "Come and see," beckoned the woman. Aurora took the spindle without thinking, pricked her finger, swayed and faltered, and fell to the ground. The old woman swept off her cloak. "Carabosse!" cried the queen. None other sneered the evil fairy. The king and queen rushed to their daughter's side and found the lilac fairy already there. "Remember, she's only sleeping," the fairy assured them. "Make yourselves comfortable, for your long slumber is about to begin." The lilac fairy drew her wand through the air. Rambling roses crept up the walls, and everything fell silent. 100 years later, a royal hunting party gathered in a forest clearing. "Don't wait for me," sighed a young prince. His name was Florimond, and he was tired of hunting and games. He longed for something more. Florimond came, a soft voice. The prince looked around in surprise. A fairy in lilac dress fluttered beside him. With a wave of her magic wand, she conjured up a mesmerizing vision. "She's beautiful." When the mysterious princess disappeared, Florimond felt heartbroken. "Where can I find her?" he pleaded. "Follow me," the fairy replied. She guided him to a misty, moonlit lake where a gleaming white boat waited for them. They glided through the forgotten forest, lost in time. Finally, the prince glimpsed at a small turret. "Your princess is in there," she whispered. "Only you can rescue her." "Never!" rasped and gnarled an old tree on the shore. It spread out its branches and transformed into the evil Carabosse. "You don't scare me." She aimed her wand at the prince, but the lilac fairy swiftly swooped it from her hand. Powerless Carabosse slunk off into the shadows. Prince Florimond swung his sword, hacking a pathway through the tangled vines. He pushed the rusty castle gates, and slowly they moved apart. The courtyard was eerily quiet. All around, Florimond saw slumbering guards and maids. He hurried up a spiral staircase, thinking only of the beautiful princess, and when he reached the top, there she lay. "Am I dreaming?" wondered Florimond. Bending to kiss her, Aurora's eyes fluttered open. "My prince," she murmured. In that magical moment, they fell in love. They ran to tell the king and queen, who couldn't have been happier. Carabosse evil spell was finally broken, and now there was a wedding to prepare. They invited fairies and fairy tale characters to attend the celebration of the century. Puss in Boots leapt in with Pretty White Cat. A brilliant bluebird darted and dived with his princess, and Little Red Riding Hood skipped ahead with a prowling, playful wolf. Florimond led Aurora to the dance floor, where they spun in each other's arms. I would have waited 1,000 years for you. Hovering above, the lilac fairy cast her wedding wish over them to live happily ever